And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to
Oh,
We Didn't Come Up with a Name for This Podcast.
the shit.
Great. We'll come up with one eventually. But welcome.
Right, yeah.
This is a podcast for talking about NASCAR stuff. That right there on the big screen is Hitmaster, and I'm Pringle's son on the little screen. We still don't know what channel this is going to go up on, but
Right.
who knows? Whatever. We're doing a podcast about NASCAR.
Yeah, I was thinking about that whenever we first went to the Speedway, and that's on his channel.
Check it out.
But I was thinking to myself, I was like, it'd be cool to have a podcast, just me, him, get a couple of his friends on here, and then go from there. I think we're hoping to get it we're trying to see if we can do it a weekly, but with the schedules that we both have, I don't think that's going to happen for a little while. And so first let's start off with why we're into NASCAR. Let's start with you.
I quite frankly don't know how I got into NASCAR. I remember I was like 4 years old and I just started watching it. That's why maybe I like the 2007 season so much, because that's the first year I started watching it. Man, I don't know. Maybe it's because of the Cars movie. I loved that movie. That could be why. But it was, yeah, I fell in love and hasn't stopped since. So maybe it's the paint schemes, maybe it was the drivers. Movie, I don't know. I was 4. I couldn't care less.
Yeah. A lot of the time even when I was 4, I didn't even know anything at that point. But, well then.
How'd you get in?
I got into NASCAR because, my whole family, we were just NASCAR fans. My dad was a huge Gordon fan, and that's how I got into Gordon. I've even got little replica Dale Jr.
Yeah,
car.
you got the race version too?
I've got this
Awesome.
one, and then I've got this one.
Oh yeah, I got that one too.
And then somewhere I think I've got Jeff Gordon's Star Wars car.
Ooh, that's nice.
And then I think I want to get William Byron's Flames car, because that's the one I can remember where you see, because whenever that Darlington throwback, I think it was this year's throwback.
Oh, that's a really cool one.
Because all I can remember is seeing, because whenever I watch it, it's like I see Jeff Gordon holding that 3 flag around Phoenix because he tied.
That was
Dale
an
Earnhardt.
extremely iconic moment.
Every time I see that, it's just good.
I have a large diecast, and maybe I'll show some of them off in a future podcast. I just got home. I wasn't ready for this, but I've got both the diecast you just showed off sitting on a shelf. I've got a lot of Dale Jr. diecasts. I've been a Dale Jr. fan since I started watching NASCAR. Now, after he retired, I became a Chase Elliott fan. Still not as diehard of a Chase fan as I was an Earnhardt fan. I don't have any Chase Elliott diecasts in 124. I have a couple in 164, but not in 124. But I do have other merch from that. But I think a lot of Junior fans became Chase Elliott fans when Junior retired, just by default. I don't know why, but I guess that's how it happened.
Yeah, I feel like whenever Dale Earnhardt Jr. was just, they're like, he's not going to win any more fan favorite trophies. It's probably going to be Chase Elliott. Might as well. Time to get on the Chase Elliott train.
Yeah, we definitely do an episode. I'll show off my 124 collection, some of them at least, and maybe some of my 164 collection as well. But I got a ton. Yeah, it's crazy.
I've got like Jeff Gordon, like the Pepsi Man.
Yeah, I think I've got that one in I wanted to get the 2012 version they ran because I thought that was really cool.
And then I just got the Drive In Hungers one that looked the D on the front. Of course, the William Byron car that I got at Michigan last year, which in a couple weeks I'll be going to Michigan this year. So
my friend Brian's going to Michigan as well. I was talking about him tonight. He wants to get on this podcast at some point. Not be a permanent member, but maybe be a guest. So we'll have to try to get him on. We don't have a lot of people like lined up for guests. I don't think there's a lot of people we know that would want to be on a NASCAR podcast as a guest. But we'll just have to see how that goes.
Yeah.
But mainly what this is probably going to be is just recaps of the races and thoughts about controversies and stuff like that going on.
Oh yeah.
And what a week to start the podcast after what happened at the Pocono.
So at the Poconos, you see Denny Hamlin goes into Ross Chastain. Now, the real question is...
See, nobody remembers that.
I mean, true. I mean, anything that Ross Chastain is, it's like a snowblower. Anything that he hits is just going to straight into the wall. But, I mean, this had coming to him. But that's not the main thing. The main thing is Denny Hamlin won at Pocono, Kyle Busch second, Chase Elliott third, until the post-race.
I was just sitting around when that happened, and then I look on the Discord, and it's like he got DQ'd, and Chase Elliott wins the race, and I look it up, and it's like a Twitter post about it, and then, but I didn't see anything else, and it was like weird. And then it was confirmed, and I'm like flipping out, like what's going on, and nobody's saying anything, and all I could do was laugh. Like my thoughts on Denny Hamlin, like he's one of the most egotistical drivers that's currently in the sport.
He's just a hack.
He's a hack, and he legit just hacked to try and win a race, and it backfired on him, which I think is hilarious. But on top of Hamlin and Kyle Busch being DQ'd, Chase Elliott goes on to win the race, and now everybody's calling it a Mickey Mouse win instead of realizing that Joe Gibbs cheated and got caught for it. Which is absolutely crazy.
What really gets me is two things. One, I feel bad for Denny Hamlin too at the same time, because when I was watching the end of the race, you could see his daughter cry. Like, she was so happy, and now she's going to have to...
Okay, no, she was crying not because she was happy that he won. She was crying because everybody was booing him in the stands. And she wasn't happy that they were doing that. And then she got to ride in the car and take the flag and stuff like that. And then the win gets taken away, which I think is hilarious. Just to realize how big of a moment that was. This is the first time somebody has gotten a win taken away from them since 1966. It's the first time somebody has won a race without leading a lap since 1955. That's how crazy this is, okay?
Jeez.
And the circumstances could have not lined up any better. With everything between Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin over the last few years, everything with Denny Hamlin alone, and everything with Chase Elliott, and what happened at the race,
right?
It could have not lined up any better. At first, when they said he was DQ'd, I thought it was traction control, because I watched him do his burnout, and it looked like he had a little bit like a lockup, like a traction control lockup. Turns out it was a little piece of tape under the car. I don't know. I guess.
I was looking at Twitter too, and I was like, okay, maybe this is fake. And then all of a sudden, what caught my eye was just because you know how, of course, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch got penalized. There's those, that one meme of the bear that looks his eyes to the left. It shows that about Christopher Bell and Martin Truex. They just like turning their eyes like LPS next.
Good Lord.
So, like, it's turning into a meme, and now I'm just so happy.
It's hilarious. I honestly so stoked about it. But like, it's weird because NASCAR, like, they just automatically start cracking down on this crap, which is so weird. Like, Michael McDowell got docked today for like 1,000 points or what? Not 1,000 points.
I didn't see that though.
He got there was like a minor like a part adjustment or which crew chief got suspended for 2 races, docked like 100 points, stuff like that. And it's just like they're cracking down on all this stuff. Why now? Like, maybe it's the new car. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's because they've been scrutinized and they're finally starting to catch up on it. I don't know, man. It's crazy.
And then I'm trying to think. Then you have like during the race was okay, and everything. I mean I'm surprised because I usually don't like Pocono races because they're just boring.
I thought it was a pretty good race for Pocono standards.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, it wasn't that bad because usually I'm just used to either Joe Gibbs racing it or Hendrick winning it.
Well, that's pretty much what happened. But
yeah.
You look at it from that perspective, you get the same thing. But there was a lot more wrecks. There was a lot more exciting restarts and overall more competitive racing, I thought. And then with the new car this year, we're seeing that a lot more. Like tracks like Atlanta and tracks like Pocono or Texas. I'm not Texas really, but
Texas.
You get the gist. But the tracks are usually more boring are becoming more exciting. But the tracks are usually more exciting, like Martinsville, Bristol, Richmond, they're becoming more boring with this new car, which is really crazy to think about. Because I'm going to Bristol in September, and I really want a good race. We'll see if I get it. But
because I wonder also when they go to Michigan, because usually sometimes Michigan races are kind of boring, so they say. And
well, they're not wrong.
I don't know with the next gen cars if that's going to change it. Because if Michigan's a non-restricted plate track too, when it was a restricted plate at that time, and Atlanta's kind of like a Daytona-ish.
Super
I'm not
speedway
saying
now. I consider it a super speedway.
I wonder if they're going to do bump drafting at Michigan. Yeah, with the next gen cars.
I could see that. I also couldn't see that. These cars, it's not that the cars are fast enough to do it or the packages aren't correct. I think these cars just aren't working right. It's kind of like with Gen 6 as well. It's hard to bump draft without like spinning them out and crap like that. But
yeah.
Honestly, we'll just have to, again, there's a lot to be desired. I wish Michigan got 2 dates still. Maybe would have gone in June, but I'm quite excited because I went to the race last year, and overall, I would say the ending was pretty good. Like after they had a little rain delay. After the rain delay, all hell broke loose. But before that, it was like not that great. That was with the Gen 6 car, so I'm pretty excited to see how this one's going to work out. But
the real question I'm asking too is, what about Ty Gibbs in his first debut?
Nobody's going to remember that. He started the race and he did fairly decent too. Like, he was in the top 15 with the car that he
2 spots though after those 2 disqualifications. So wherever he finished, he gets 2 more spots.
I know last I remember he was in 15th. I can look up where he finished actually. But he wasn't like a huge factor or anything. I don't think Kurt Busch's car is the best ride in the sport either. So
I mean, we all know who's going to be in that 45 next year.
Is he? I mean, is Kyle Busch coming back next year for Gibbs? Like, that's something else we can think about.
Well, no, I was saying Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick's going to be driving.
He's going to be in the 45. So maybe Ty Gibbs. I don't see Ty Gibbs getting in a Richard Childress car. honestly.
No, he's too connected to his grandfather.
But
he's gonna be in a Joe Gibbs car.
So will he take Kyle Busch's ride though? That's the thing. Or is he gonna get a new ride? Is he gonna take over? Because Truex got extended. Christopher Bell's not going anywhere. Hamlin's not going anywhere. So either gonna make a new car, or Busch is gonna have to get kicked for Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs finished 16th.
Basically, this is turning into the Kyle Busch Hendrick Motorsports situation.
Because Kyle Busch, right? He's not been that great this year. He's not his future's up in the air. He lost his main sponsor. M&M's is leaving after this year. He's not getting a contract extension. He's not really handling his relationship with Joe Gibbs is visibly not that good. Is he done after everything he did for Gibbs? Is he done there after this year? And is he going to retire? Is he going to find a new ride? Will anybody sign him?
Right. At this point, I just don't know.
My thing is, I think Kyle Busch is too marketable to not have a ride next year. I still think he's got some wins left in him.
Okay.
But
maybe
honestly,
he could work in the Xfinity series of trucks, maybe for a little while, because he is an owner there. So I mean,
that's true. But would he? But is he like? That's like putting like Jimmy Johnson down in the Xfinity series from Hendrick, or like Tony Stewart or something like that. Would you really? Is that really gonna happen? It's up in the air. I think Busch needs to win. I think he needs to be more of a title contender because he hasn't been that great so far this year. He wouldn't. I don't think he would be in the playoffs right now if it wasn't for that lucky win at Bristol in the dirt race.
Still upset about that.
That was a wild finish. What are your thoughts on this season? Because it's been up and down, I think, for me.
I mean, other than the Bristol dirt track, it's not bad. Because, you got new winners. You got Daniel Suarez, who is the first Mexican driver to win a cup race at Sonoma.
That is true.
And then you got
Tyler Reddick won.
Ross Chastain. Yeah, Tyler Reddick.
Ross Chastain.
You got all these guys that a long time ago you would expect them to be,
even just last year. Even just last year, you didn't expect them to do that good.
Right. And then now with the next gen car, it's changed. You see Ross Chastain, you see Tyler Reddick all the way up near the top 5. You see Daniel Suarez sometimes near the top 5. It's like it's getting there. It's getting to the point where NASCAR's officially starting to dial up until they said the Chicago Street Course.
I can't believe they're going to Chicago Street Race. That's so dumb. Oh my god.
My friend wants me to go to it.
Honestly, though, it's not that far of a drive.
No, not really. Really not.
It's considerable. But we can get to the state of the NASCAR as a whole in a little bit. But, overall this season, I think the new winners have definitely done a lot for it. There's been more.
Right.
I think if they can fix the package for the short tracks and even really the super speedways, I think like Daytona and Talladega, I think they'll be good.
Right,
I think the intermediates got fixed for the most part. We got to eliminate Texas off the schedule and, see where the other intermediates fall in that haven't had a race yet, such as Michigan. And even like the Indy Road Course coming up on Sunday or a few other of the road courses. So I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But honestly, I don't know if it's better. I like having all the new winners. But, again, there's a lot of unpredictability. Like, who thought Ross Chastain was going to be a title contender?
Right.
Season?
Right.
That's the thing.
It's crazy. So, here's the question now. Who do you think is going to win the Indianapolis Road Course this week?
Fuck. I think it'd be funny if Chase Briscoe won. Myself.
Because of last year.
AJ Allmendinger probably not going to win it again.
You didn't have to cut me off.
I don't see Hamlin contending. I don't see Chase Elliott really contending either, as much as he is a road course ringer. Chastain, I think, has got a good shot. But I think I am going to have to pick Briscoe on this one. Actually, I can get an official pick. Yeah, I'll pull this up real quick. I don't even know who I picked in this race. Oh, shit.
Do you have fantasy?
I do a thing with my dad and a couple of my friends. I did pick Chase Briscoe. Oh, no, that was Brian.
I usually pick the Hendrick boys.
I picked Chase Elliott. I am legally obligated to say Chase Elliott. So, there you go on that one. Not too out of the question to say he'll win, because he is a road course ringer, but I just don't see it happening.
I'm going to go with a limb and say that Denny Hamlin's going to come out with the win. I mean, I hate to say it, but I think...
You really think so?
With all of this stuff that's happening, him selling his trophy and his wine on eBay...
He sold the trophy on eBay? What?
If you look on his Twitter, he has a video, and it shows him popping the champagne while he's eating his thing, and he has the trophy right next to him, and on the Twitter it says, "Trophy and used champagne now selling on eBay."
What? That is wild, because Chase Elliott did not ask for the trophy. He said if he wants to keep it, he can keep it. So the fucker puts it on eBay? Seriously?
You know what? Fuck it. I'll just... There, one of you guys can have it.
Oh my god.
But here's the thing. Well, but is NASCAR just going to try and buy it? That's the thing.
Can they,
though? Because NASCAR's just going to want it back.
I don't know. I mean, will they... I mean, the real winner of the race doesn't want it. So are they really going to want anything to do with it?
True.
I guess it's kind of a thrown up in the air kind of thing.
A Denny Hamlin fan's going to be happy.
That's true.
I mean, happy and not happy that Hamlin didn't win it, but he got used wine.
It's like who can root for Denny Hamlin at this point? Like, right. I've hated Joey Logano for God knows how long, but I just feel like Hamlin's gonna overtake him as my most hated driver. So egotistical, dumb, and he cannot win a frickin' title to save his life.
Every time he gets close, he just can't get it.
I mean,
before I reach.
I don't know, man. I hate that guy so much. But
yeah.
All right, let's talk about the state of the industry, though.
Yeah.
So we all know NASCAR kind of sucks compared to its time about 20 years ago.
Right.
There's a lot of factors that have contributed to that, mainly the chase, or the playoffs, whatever the hell you want to call it. Been a real main contributing factor to it. And the outlandish. I mean, a Chicago street course basically says we're trying to copy IndyCar because they're more popular than us, or we're trying to compete with F1 because they're more popular than us.
Yeah, I wonder why F1's doing more good stuff than you are.
I don't get the point with F1. I don't.
I've only watched one season, and that was last year, and that was it.
I watched the ending of the race on Sunday, and they were focusing on third place, the battle for third place, not the winner. They didn't even mention who won the race. When the race was over, they kept focusing on third place. Then when that finished, they finished over the 15th, and they were showing that battle, and they were going nuts. And they didn't even mention who won the race. I don't get what the deal is. It's like, oh, no playoffs and stuff like that. Well, it's boring as crap. I feel bad for the international racing fans out there that have to watch F1.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing that I've always wanted NASCAR to do, even though they did it far time before all this shit went around. I've always wanted them to go back to like Canada or something.
Oh, they did a cup race at Montreal. That would be epic. I remember when they raced at Montreal in 2012. I watched that race when it was an Xfinity race. Watched it in 2012. That was one of the most exciting races I've ever seen in my life. There was so much competitiveness. Freaking Danica dominated it until she ran over a shoe, and there was a bunch of wrecks at the end.
I remember that.
And it's one of those races, like, it was like one of these golden gems. Like, you're never gonna get this again. And I haven't watched a Montreal race since. So
I can remember the last time I watched a international race. I don't remember the track. I think it was Montreal, but it was, I guess, Robbie Gordon got penalized, and they told him to go to the back.
That was like 2008 or something like that. Yeah, I remember that too.
Because I remember watching it, and he just kept going and going and going and going. And then he spins out, I think, Marcus Ambrose or something like that. And then he still keeps going.
Yeah, I remember he got like penalized and shit. That was a long time ago. I don't remember that. And then he did the burnout alongside the actual winner because he thought he won the race and stuff like that. Robbie Gordon, man, he was a character. I met him in Detroit in 2016.
I always thought Robbie Gordon and Jeff Gordon were brothers.
Same here, man. Same here.
And that I didn't know Winston was a cigarette. I thought it was just a guy that owned the company. But I guess I'm dumb.
Oh well. I never watched NASCAR when it was Winston Cup. Started watching in 2007. That's why I think the paint schemes from 2007 were the best paint schemes, the base paint schemes. They always bring so much nostalgia for me, but I never watched. My uncle, who's also a NASCAR fan, he told me he went to races during the Winston days, and they were like giving, like, you know vendors that walk up and down the stairs and like sell hot dogs, or they were doing that for cigarettes apparently, which is really weird. But it was the 90s or whatever. Whenever they went to these races, so it could be perfectly valid. Who knows?
Yeah, just go up to a vendor and then they'll just give you a little 5-year-old or 6-year-old fucking cigarettes.
Hey, I mean, what's parental level of guidance here?
Teach them while they're young.
Get them in the brain while they are young, and then maybe they will fix it. But I think it is. I back to our original point of this topic. No secret that the industry has declined. I mean, you look at it from standpoint. I mean, I remember going to MIS. I've been going to MIS since I started watching NASCAR in 2007. 15 years now. And I remember first years I went, you go to shopping haulers, 4 rows, just massive amount of trailers all across the concourse. All different drivers, no matter how good or bad they were. Everybody had their own trailer. That was it. With MIS last year, only 2 drivers had their own trailer, Chase Elliott and Kyle Busch. The rest of everybody else relegated to a merged trailer or none at all. It was like 8 or 10 trailers. That was it. Somehow Roush didn't have one, but Spire did. I don't remember exactly. I don't know why that was, but oh well. And then of course, you could see it in the attendance figures. MIS especially taking out Turn 3 grandstands and removing some of their Turn 1 grandstands, and Texas downsizing 2, and and stuff like that. And the market's just, the demand's not there for the market anymore, and it really does suck.
Yeah, it really does, because like you said, last year it was just painful to see, because we were one of the first people to actually go in. And I was like, we got to go in first because we got to see what's going on with all the things. And when we went in, I didn't see a lot of people at the like haulers, like you said. It was like empty. And usually, when I went, I think I went to MIS when Kevin Harvick won it. I went with my mom and everything. You could just see the whole grandstands just packed with fans, just packed. And now, whenever you look at a racetrack of fans, it's just nothing. Like, you don't see anything except for a Daytona 500 or a Coca-Cola 600.
Some of the big ones, yeah. But they were like, add more short tracks, and then they changed the package, and now the short tracks suck. So I think they're just making too many changes too quickly. That's what I think it is. They're not really sticking with anything, letting it work out. Now they might be dubbing into the electric vehicle market thing, and that, why? I don't know, man.
Yep, definitely. Just, oh gosh, you see Chase Elliott coming into the pits. He's going to get electric fuel inside of his car. We're going to wait 10 minutes for this. Let's go to commercial. 10 minutes later, and he's finally off pit road.
But if we were in control, how would we make this sport better?
Do it for Dale. Go back to what Dale Earnhardt had.
And kill everybody?
Well, no. Safer barriers and everything. With your helmets the right way like they have right now. Just don't keep the numbers where they're at. That's the only thing I have trouble with anything. This I want back. Numbers on the side. This. Like you can change up the next gen car and everything. You don't need the sponsor to be the main priority. Everyone wants to go to a race and look at the number that's on the car, not the freaking sponsor. No one cares that, oh, Chase Elliott's car is Napa. We know this.
I agree.
New people want to see the number, and they want to cheer on that number. You don't see a fan go to a racetrack and say, I want that Drive Dan Hunger car to win. You just don't. Unless you don't know their name, and then you have a thing. But everyone should know Jeff Gordon.
Everybody should know. I agree.
I just realized also, Drive Dan Hunger has not been in NASCAR since Jeff Gordon drove.
Weren't they like scandals or something like that came out or whatever?
I have no idea. All I know is that Jeff Gordon drove it.
I have no idea either.
See, that's why no one cares about the freaking sponsors. They care about the number and the driver.
Yeah, man. What would I do? Well, I would change the package to more focus on horsepower again and not aerodynamics. I would also get rid of the resin stuff on the tracks, make it a little bit more natural racing lines. Because in my opinion, when they introduced that, it didn't really do much, and it still really hasn't done a whole lot. I think it's all about the packages and making the cars make themselves go faster instead of making the air go them faster. I think it gives drivers a little more leeway to be a little bit more aggressive with their cars, and then which keeps them separated from the open wheel competitors, IndyCar and F1. I think will drive butts back into the seats. If they have a package like 2014, like they mixed 2014's horsepower package with today's package, they could be golden,
Especially with super speedways.
Exactly. Even
because
the intermediate tracks like Texas and Chicagoland, those were two great tracks that year. and now they're not. Well, Chicagoland is not even on the schedule, so we can't even rip that track. But
see what they should have done is, instead of Chicago Street Course, have it for 1 year that Chicagoland comes back. You know, just for the throwback.
That would be epic.
You know, it's.
I think there's more throwback tracks coming. I think North Wilkesboro is going to come back.
Of course, yeah, that is, and I can't wait for that.
Rockingham has been under renovations for a while. That might eventually come back too.
The Rock. Not Dwayne The Rock, The Rock.
They're probably going to get rid of Nashville Superspeedway again soon in favor of the fairgrounds. I think they've been trying to work out some deals with that. I think the Superspeedway was kind of just a precursor to see if the Nashville market was still there. I think NASCAR has determined that it is, even though I don't think the seating capacity at Nashville is that great, so it just makes it look full. But who knows? Right. So I'd be excited to see that.
With one of these tracks coming in, like North Wilkesboro or something like that, they're going to have to take some tracks off the schedule. And I have a feeling the ones that are the one time a year, like Michigan, will be off the track or off the season. And I don't want that.
I don't know. I don't think Michigan's. This is going to be. I think you're right in the fact that it's definitely on the chopping block. I think this is going to be a very vital year for the Speedway. If this new car does not work out, I think Texas though is definitely more heavily on the chopping block. Honestly, Indy might too, because of how shit that package was, and then they get the road course, and the road course is coming back up. Maybe we'll see if it's just as much of a crap fest as it was last year. Better racing, but is it really better in general? I don't know. I don't even know what else is that close. I think we're going to see the Nashville Superspeedway go again in favor of the fairgrounds. Maybe get rid of the Roval and just have the 600, and then maybe North Wilkesboro as a playoff race instead of the Roval. I think that would be very interesting.
I think so too, because North Wilkesboro is a very good track for a playoff.
Honestly, as well, they could possibly even get rid of a date at Richmond and or Martinsville. Probably Richmond, since Martinsville's more historic. Do we see the Bristol Dirt Date get axed in favor of something better? You know, there's a lot more tracks and a lot more dates that I think are up for the axing other than Michigan.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to see Michigan go. I can see why they might consider it, but
if it is gonna go, I really want to go see it for the last time, and you know it's gonna be packed if that is the case, where it's gonna be the final time.
I hope it doesn't, because they do I don't think the facility itself is going to be in danger, because they do have that music event they host down there, the Faster Horses Festival that they just had. They also do the Christmas light show.
Yeah.
I think those will be keeping it there. It would definitely be sad, though, to see it go, and I hope it doesn't. I think I'm going to try and keep it there because Michigan, is so big in the car industry and everything. Keep one date there. So I think the other places they can axe for that, though, my opinion.
Texas needs to go.
I think Texas needs to go. Like,
or how I say it, Texas.
They built that and killed. I mean, what did they killed North Wilkesboro? No, North Wilkesboro got axed for New Hampshire. That's another track that could possibly be axed too, New Hampshire.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, a lot of people don't talk about New Hampshire.
It's just that forgotten. Like, there's nothing up where it is. The racing is not great, and
it's like a longer Martinsville.
Pretty much, but a lot less exciting,
right?
For the most part. I wouldn't be sad to see it go. Honestly, I wouldn't be sad to see Texas go. I wouldn't be sad to see. Might also be interesting. We're going to see the new Auto Club come to fruition soon.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
because they were gonna make it a road course. They were gonna make it a
like a Martinsville.
They're gonna make it a short track. Then COVID hit, so that they brought back as regular Auto Club. And I think next year it might be a short track, or the year after. I don't know what the thing is about that. I think it's happening. That'll be interesting. Can we get rid of the LA Coliseum, please?
Yes, please.
Can we have North Wilkesboro instead of the LA Coliseum?
People have said multiple times to me that instead of the LA Coliseum for like the duels or something like that, if you don't want to do it at Daytona and you want to do it at a stadium, and I'm okay with this, even though I don't like the team, do it in Fenway. Please.
I think
just imagine the big red the monster having a car into the wall.
That would be crazy. But
with all the history
here, honestly, I wouldn't care if the duels got changed to a different track. However, I think because it's such close proximity to the 500, and it being really just a qualifying race, I don't think that's gonna be changed. However, I think the Clash, it either needs to go back to Daytona on the oval, or it needs to go to a real track, not a football stadium converted to a track, just to attract a more Hollywood market. Like they could have that at the fairgrounds, or they could have. Well, that may be too cold. I don't know where else they would put it, unless they wanted to do some snow racing. That would be that. That could be.
People have said instead of the street course, they should do the Soldier Field. Because they have done it at Soldier Field before. Racing has been at Soldier Field.
It has been at Soldier Field, and the Bears are rumored to be leaving Soldier Field very soon. So they might either have to tear it down and convert it to a track. But the thing is, though, is the Chicago market there. I don't think it's like the lack of facilities. It's the market demand there for a NASCAR team. That's the thing. Like, Chicagoland, not very popular. Are they going to try a different track and hope for better results? You know, is it going to pay off for them?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe somehow, some way they're probably going to add on to every year. So, like, maybe this year will be Chicago, and then maybe next year it'll be the Detroit one.
Oh, they raced in Belle Isle, I would definitely go. Oh,
or maybe they'll go to the Miami F1 track.
Or Vegas, even. They could do that.
Yeah. Maybe they're starting off
options. They've definitely got options for that. So, I guess we just have to see. My prediction is I don't think it's going to be that popular. Do not think it's going to be that popular at the Chicago Street Course. I don't. I just don't think the market demand is there. And I don't think it would change if it was Chicagoland. I don't think Chicagoland would get that high attendance. Not because it's also not good market demand, but also it's just not a good track, in my opinion. Because you get those cookie cutters, like Kentucky, Kansas, Chicagoland.
I forgot that Kentucky or Kansas was still a track.
I mean, Kentucky's also at the schedule. God knows how long Kansas has left. That was another track I guess I wouldn't be too mad to see go. But I don't know. We'll have to find out what they do
when it comes. Yep.
Lord knows what NASCAR is going to do next. But let's talk about Let's talk about these tires.
All right.
What are your thoughts on the because they got rid of the interliners this year. The new car. I think that was a huge mistake. What are your thoughts on the tires situation?
I mean, to me, it's not bad. But then when I think about it again, it's actually I don't like it. I didn't even when they first came out with, oh, we're only doing one lug nut. I hated it. I hated every bit of it. I was like, this is gonna turn out to be a disaster. And guess what? The first couple races, just like at what am I drawing a blank? At what's that track? In Texas, I think it is. Is it Road America?
Coda?
Yeah, Coda. You just saw Bubba Wallace's tire just go off the car.
Now,
and then you're like, he's getting penalized for this? It's not his fault.
It's not his fault, it's his crew's fault. And
right.
There's been a lot of memes about the Bubba Wallace crew situation this year. The tires falling off isn't necessarily NASCAR's fault or Goodyear's fault or whatever, so I can't really blame them there. And I think it's just the fact that especially early in the season, a lot of the drivers were just simply spinning out and their tires would flatten and they'd have to get towed back and they'd be out of the race. Then it seemingly slowed down. But I think if they were going to work on anything over the off season, other than developing a short track package that works, I think they're going to definitely try and put inner liners back in those tires to allow stuff to work out. But
I have the lug nuts of Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson's car somewhere in my boxes in the garage of my house.
You're definitely going to get some artifacts out to show off on this podcast.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think one of the podcasts we have to do a thing where it's just show everything we've got. Because I have a lot of NASCAR stuff. Heck, I'm even looking at one right now. It's a Dale Earnhardt. 2 Dale Earnhardt cars. 3 Dale Earnhardt cars.
3 Dale Earnhardt cars.
I have one here, right next to the Dale
nice.
Jr. And then I have 2 that are actually on the ground, which I'm really going to be fixing that when I get done here. Because I really shouldn't be disrespecting Dale Earnhardt. And then I got some like cards of race car drivers like Eric Almirola, Austin Dillon. I have a lot.
I don't know. I have one. No, I have one Dale Earnhardt diecast. His Oreo car from 01. I got a lot of junior diecasts. I got some Gordon stuff. If you want some good cheap price diecasts, go to an antique store. There's we've been to 2 antique stores this summer. So much NASCAR stuff. So many diecasts. You'll find a ton of stuff there. I got pins. I got diecasts. There's trading cards. There's mugs. There's flags. There's cardboard cutouts of drivers. There's haulers. There's diecasts again. Shot glasses. I mean, there's everything.
I have like a Home Depot helmet, and it was signed by Tony Stewart. It's at my dad's house, but it's really cool. And then I think I've got a picture somewhere, somehow, some way, when Joey Logano was in the 20, and I was in the big booth with him, and I got to take a picture with him.
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
So I have it somewhere, but I think because I got angry at Joey Logano, I put it somewhere where I could never find it.
What year was it? It was 2009. We went to the MIS race. I think it was June. My dad and my grandpa got pit passes and garage passes. They had to meet Tony Stewart. There's a picture of them with Tony Stewart, and it's signed. And then they also got to be Kid Rock that day, I remember, because he was the Grand Marshal.
Dang.
Yeah, that was... I didn't get to go back there. I don't know why I didn't get to go back there. I wish I had.
I know when I did meet Joey Logano, I got pit passes, and I was gonna... My dad goes, you want to start going down to the garage? And I said, sure, why not? Maybe we could go look at the drivers walk down, because it was just about time for them to, walk to their cars. And I was like, maybe we have time to see Jeff Gordon. And that was my dream, to meet Jeff Gordon, to see Jeff Gordon. And I was 2 minutes late. I saw Kyle Busch go by, saw Martin Truex go by, saw Junior go by. I heard a lot of screams next to me because some reason there was girls next to me, and ow. But I even missed Jimmy Johnson. They said he was there like 4 to 5 minutes early, and I was like, I missed almost the what at that time 5-time champion. I'm seeing all the suckish drivers except for Junior, but like I'm seeing all the suckish drivers.
Damn, that's tough. I've gotten pit passes twice. First time was in 2014. That was crap. I didn't get to meet anybody. Nobody was there. Probably because we didn't stay that long. I got to see some cars come out, and that was really about it. Walked down pit road. Second time was in 2019. Got it with my friend Brian. I wasn't actually even supposed to be there. His brother was supposed to go with him. But there was like an altercation that happened, and he wasn't allowed to go, so I was allowed to go instead. And we got pit passes, and we walked down, and we got to meet. We got driver intro passes too, but it was raining, so those were canceled. We got to watch them walk back into the garage. I made a huge mistake that day because I bought a Chase Elliott, the Mountain Dew Chase Elliott hat. I bought it that day along with the Hooters shirt, but for some reason, I didn't get the Napa. I wanted a Mountain Dew one, but the only Mountain Dew like jersey thing they had for Chase Elliott was like a camo one. It didn't look that good, so I got the Hooters one instead. Best purchase I've ever made. But no, I came into the day wearing a Dale Jr. hat because I didn't have a Chase Elliott hat, so I buy the Chase Elliott hat. Stupid me decides to keep the Dale Jr. hat on. So we're in the pits. Here comes Chase Elliott walking by. Well, what am I supposed to get him to autograph? Because I don't have the hats. My friend Brian got Joey Logano to sign his hat that he has of Joey Logano. And I didn't get an autograph. Oh, that was so bad.
I got an autograph of Austin Dillon. I don't have it right here, but I have his card.
Nice.
I got an Austin Dillon card. Or sorry, I've got an Austin Dillon signature on my last year's MIS card. That's the only signature I could. And then 2 things happened actually last year. I saw Richard Petty go in his thing. So Petty was at MIS for some odd reason. I don't know why he would be there, but still, I saw him get in his one of the go-karts, and he just not the go-karts, the golf carts, and he just was in the passenger side. And he just was driving away, and then at one point during the race, my head started to hurt, so I was like, you know what? I'll go into that one thing that's where you can go up in the building, but you have to take an elevator. I, no joke, finally got to do what I didn't get to do when I was up there, when I met Joey Logano. 2 people went by. The guy that previously owned NASCAR that announced Dale Earnhardt's death.
Mike Helton?
Yes, I saw him walk by, and then not even 5 minutes later, I saw Jeff Gordon walk by, and my heart fucking stopped. It stopped. I was like, oh my God. And it was just, I was like, what's next? Is Rick Hendrick going to walk by?
Well, did you get that ever-long meeting with him, or?
I never got to talk to him, but even just seeing him walk by, I was like from shoulder to shoulder, he walked by like right here.
Oh my God.
And he was just so close. I'm just like, you know what? A signature wouldn't even care. I got to be close to Jeff Gordon. I don't even care anymore. My life is complete.
Completion. Oh, damn it. It's a funny, keeping on the topic of meeting people, it was in Indy. I went to the 2013 Brickyard 400 in Indy, and we were walking around infield, because everything was in the infield, And we're just walking down a path, getting ready to head to our seats, I think, and a golf cart comes by. Well, a guy that looks like Joe Gibbs is on the cart. So I turn around and tell my dad, oh, that's Joe Gibbs. And so my dad's like, hey, Joe! Stops. It was Joe Gibbs. Got to meet him, take a picture with him. He was a cool guy. I've never seen any other owner in person. I guess I've seen Denny Hamlin in person, if you count that. But
I sometimes don't count it just because Denny Hamlin's technically a driver. But
owner driver.
He is a kind of a driver too, or an owner, yeah. When I did walk by, when Jeff Gordon did walk by, the security guard was asking me, "Are you okay?" Because I was just frozen like this, and they're like, "Do we need to get an ambulance for you?" I'm like, "Oh no, I'm fine. It's just that my fucking hero that I've had, I was a fan of since I was 5, just walked by me, and now I'm frozen in solid fear because I now don't know what to do."
Yeah, don't worry about me.
Just give me 5 more minutes and I'll be perfect.
Everything I've ever worked for is now complete. I'm just standing here reminiscing.
It's just so cool. I wanted to stand up, but I was too scared to stand up because I was going to stand up and ask if he could sign this shirts, and then I'll be like, I don't want to wear this anymore.
I really want to meet Dale Jr. in real life. I do.
Oh, me too.
I've never seen him in real life.
If I can,
I want a picture.
Someday, I want him to sign.
I'll get that sucker signed.
I'm gonna get this signed.
I've got the 2014 one as well. I'll never take them.
The 2004 and 2005.
I'll never take the 2014 one off the shelf or take it out of the house. It's too rare, too popular. I'm not taking those race wins off. I'll probably get a hat signed by him or something like that, or at least just a picture with him. I'd just say hi. That's all I care about. That's all I want. Come on now, can't be that hard. I'm hoping when I go to Bristol that I meet more people, because all these like big NASCAR YouTubers, all these media personalities, they take a look at MIS and they're like, yeah, we could pass that one up, especially since it's right after Indy Road Course, especially with some other bigger events just down the line. But they take a look at Bristol in the playoffs and they're like, we gotta hit this up. So I'm hoping maybe I can meet Eric, hopefully I can meet a few other people while there. Probably no drivers or anything, but who knows? I got to meet Kyle Petty in 2014 as well. He was doing the broadcasts. I've met Robbie Gordon. I didn't meet Robbie Gordon at a NASCAR race. I met him at an IndyCar event. The one in Detroit, I went about 6 years ago now. And I went, and there was like a truck thing beforehand, like a street truck thing. And Robbie is participating in that. We got to go back into the pit area, and I got to take a picture with him, and that was really cool. Nice guy. He smelled really bad, but he was a nice guy.
Huh, that's odd coming from, because Robbie Gordon's usually, people think he's a rude person, but that's odd to hear. I mean,
think of Tony Stewart, right? Somebody who doesn't give a crap for, like, this being in awe stuff. He's all business, like a little more rough around the edges sort of guy. That's Robbie Gordon.
Right. Huh.
Like, he's just like, all right, let's get this over with. Sort of,
Right. Here's a question, and this is about the Truck Series. Because there's one person that I've been watching ever since they've made their mark on the ARCA Series. And that's Hailie Deegan. How do you feel about her?
Fucking Hailie Deegan. I don't watch. I've never
seen
a race.
Trucks?
The only female I've ever seen race is Danica Patrick. No, I've seen Jennifer Jo Cobb race too, but she doesn't count. But good lord,
trust me, I ask every person that watches NASCAR about this. So
Look, I'm not into like this like. I'm not gonna comment on her hoodunga boongas or her being hot or anything like that. I haven't seen her race, so I can't comment on if she's a good driver or not. All I can say is, go for it, girl. Like, I don't know, man. Like,
Okay.
here, my thing about female drivers is like, it's this: if they're good drivers, then they 100% should have the opportunity. Like, every woman should have the opportunity to drive just like the men do. But they cannot get up. They cannot be like Danica Patrick, where she gets a top tier ride and gets all this personal attention and gets all these sponsorships just because she's a woman. She was a horrible driver.
She that's what my mom said and my friend said about Danica. Because if you think about it, she did good in the Xfinity series. Did okay, won some races. Was a good driver. But she was, of course, in a junior motorsports car. And then when she got into Cup with Stuart Haas, she's wrecking herself trying to wreck someone. Like, I mean, I get it. I'm not going to call you an idiot, but you're an idiot. I'm sorry. But
that's my take on it. Like, I'm sure there's going to be some good female drivers in the Cup Series.
Oh yeah,
coming along. I don't know if it's going to be Haley Deegan. I don't know if it's going to be Natalie Decker. I don't know if it's going to be anybody else that's currently like in the spotlight. But somebody's going to do it eventually. Somebody has to, right? Like, it'll happen, but that day will come. Maybe then there'll be a little bit of sparking back in popularity because we're seeing Bubba Wallace have a little bit of success, an African American driver. Seeing Kyle Larson, who's of Asian descent, he's won a championship, and we've seen after saying an explicit term on live stream, and then not getting really punished for it that much. And
then winning the championship.
Then he goes on and wins the championship, and then other drivers going on the same thing. Maybe that'll be good for the sport. I don't know. We'll just have to see how it goes. I think, for me personally, I think it's good. But I know the fan base I know the demographic that watch NASCAR. We are part of the minority in that regard, sadly. So, yeah. So, we'll just have to see where it goes, though.
Right. All right. Well, that was a good first episode.
Yep, we're a little bit over an hour. I think that's what we're going to try and aim at, maybe a little bit longer, depending on how much we do. But that was more of an introductory episode anyway, so
yeah.
We're going to try to get Jackson and Brian on this podcast as well, either as guests or as more permanent people. We'll just kind of see how we do. We got our own fun ideas for it. Keep it going as long as we can. But hopefully, seems like it's going to be a fun ride. We also got to come up with a name.
Oh,
Hopefully by episode 2 we'll have a name.
By episode 2, and probably before when this gets posted, whenever it does, wherever it does, it'll have a name. Because
sure. It should.
I honestly don't think we should actually post it until we have a name.
I don't think so either. But we kind of talked about some topics that are going to become irrelevant if we wait too long. So. But I think we'll be fine in general, I don't know who's actually gonna watch this. That's kind of thing. Hopefully, hundreds of people. So, but that's gonna do it for whatever this podcast is, episode number 1. We'll see you guys whenever we can hit up episode 2.
All right.
Goodbye.